I was fortunate enough to travel to Spain and get some footage of three golf courses here that we'll walk through. But there's five essential tips for golfing in Spain that you should know before you head on over to the links. Spain is a world class destination for golf with over 400 courses, ranging from historical seaside links to modern day championship layouts to chip and putts that I ended up finding most of myself at here. And we'll walk through on how to make your trip the most fun as possible with these five quick tips to keep in mind. Starting off with number five, the metric system. This is something you got to keep in mind because they're not using yardages out there. So if you do bring your rangefinder, which I would not recommend, don't bring anything. Don't even bring your clubs. Go out there and bring yourself and a good attitude, and you'll have the time of your life. Here, they do use the metric system. So there's a little bit of math. So each meter is 1.9 yards. So to remember this, so if you're shooting 150 meters, it's about 164 yards. Now, modern devices allow you to throttle that, but you're still going to have to keep that in mind to do some math on the course. At least I know I was. I kind of eyeball the golf hole, so if I'm just looking up and back, even though you're not going to score well, that's just how I do it. But for this course, you're playing pretty short. All right, moving into tip number two. Choose the right time of year. Spain is a year-long destination, but there's some sweet spots for travelers going through in the shoulder seasons. That is spring from March to May and fall from September to November. These months offer the most comfortable temperatures ranging from 64 to 75 degrees, ideal for walking. And keep that in mind, you'll be walking most of these courses unless you stay at one of these resorts where you're spending big money and then you're taking away the whole experience, in my opinion. I mean, some of the resorts are well worth it, don't get me wrong. You're playing golf in Spain, you're getting experience. But these chip and putts, these smaller courses, these local little village courses, or even Madrid, Barcelona courses, they got courses spread throughout this whole facility. Some are expensive, some aren't. You don't need a handicap verification, but I would keep that in mind. You might want to keep your handicap at least in the back of your head if they ask you. But focusing on number two here, at number two is the right time of the year. Avoid those peak summer seasons unless you're headed to the north coast or even the midsummer August, where you could bring intense heat and midday rounds. You might have to be forced to play in the morning time. Moving into number three, balance golf with culture. Don't let the fairways be your only view of the country. Golf has some beautiful hubs and locations throughout its region, but for the most part, it has planned days. Have planned days off. Make sure you visit the historical landmarks. Make sure you enjoy yourself. Golf course is fun. Play 18. Don't overdo it. Get out there, have some wine. Most people aren't playing 36 holes in one day in Spain, but some are. You never know. But embrace those local rhythm that it has there. The wines, your evening rounds. I remember going out and just having a bunch of beers with the local golfers I got played with. And try to play with the locals, man. You'll be surprised. They might start off a little rough, but if you got a good swing and you're having fun out there, you'll have an enjoyable day for the rest. You'll remember for the rest of your life. Moving in to number four. Number four, use local aggregators for better value. Instead of booking direct with premier rate websites, use the local platforms for specialized Spanish golf travel. Sometimes you could just show up and they're going to have tee times. Call. Someone there is going to be able to speak English if you need to. And if you speak some Spanish, you're fine. But book in advance if you can and be a little bit prepared. Make sure they have some tee times available. And be mindful that some days they're just closed. On Tuesdays, they're doing maintenance, or Thursdays and Fridays, they have giant tournaments, and they're not going to get you out there. There's a different pace to play there. I'm telling you, you're not having a ton of people on the tee box waiting like you are in a New Jersey type experience. Platforms using, just keep in mind their websites, booking online, getting the local feel for it. That's the biggest takeaway here at number four. And finally, number five, And one of my favorites, and just a fundamental for traveling, I feel like for most, don't overpack. Number 5 is don't overpack your gear. You're going to want to bring your clubs. You're going to want to say you've had your clubs and you scored the best possible round you did. Are you getting paid to get out there and do it? No. You're just trying to have as much fun as possible. Get the high quality rental clubs. Spend some money. So if you go to a nice resort, you're going to spend 40, 50 euros on a nice rental set. Yeah, I get it. It could be 50% of the actual green fee for that round. But you're on vacation. You're not going to be lugging around your clubs that you're going to use 4% of your vacation. So just be mindful that just spend the money, rent clubs. And even these chip and putts, sometimes they don't even charge you to rent clubs. You can take like 4 clubs and they'll let you out, or they'll charge you a couple euros. It's really nothing. And if you're worried about it, bring your second set. I brought a second set that was in a small golf bag, a quail bag actually, and it had 6 clubs. And I traveled and probably played 20 courses internationally with those, saving 20 times maybe $30 per. So you're saving some money, but I'm telling you, if I had the money, I would just go rent clubs at that point. Ensure that you're packing light, but pack also lighter material because it gets hot in certain times of the month. And your weight rule, obviously, you don't want to overpack here and you get charged by airlines. Again, if you're bringing your clubs, you're getting charged by the airlines on top of it. They're getting you in, they're getting you out. Even when I brought the 7 set, I had to put it in one bag. They would not charge me on the way there, and then they would charge me on the way back. And I would see that as for $150, it's kind of almost a wash if you're just renting clubs out there. Rent the clubs, man. Unless you're a professional or you got moolah money, I would just rent clubs because you're gonna have problems with your clubs most of the times. Unless you get a hole in one with that club, and you could tell me, I would just rent clubs. That's it for this video. Keep a lookout for more videos to come. This is the Professor. We've traveled a couple countries so far. Hopefully by the time we revisit this video, we've already had a few more knocked off our list. If you have any recommendations or countries that you think we need to target, let us know in the comment section below.